Hey everybody, this is Salar, and you guys are welcome to Smart Code and this exciting course on C Sharp. In this course, we are learning C Sharp step by step. So, as you know, in the last lecture, we totally winded up the collections in C Sharp. We learned to code the one-dimensional array, two-dimensional array, checked array, list, and dictionary. So now we know how to code different types of collections in C Sharp and their properties. It's now time to go ahead. The next thing we usually learn right after the collection is string. We know what a string is, how to create a string variable, how to concatenate a string, and how to print string variables. So we are pretty much familiar with the string, but the string is not the same data type as other primitive data types. A string is basically implemented as a class in .NET, and it has many important characteristics we need to know and understand because a string is an important data type. A string represents the text, and text is everywhere. In addition, a string class offers a lot of predefined methods which we use to manipulate the string value. So like I said, a string is an important data type. Data is sent and received in form of strings, and we also save data as a string. The most important thing that we are going to discuss and try to understand is the string memory representation. Our string value or the string object converts into a character array when the value goes into the memory. So string value is actually a linear or one-dimensional array. It's a very important concept, and because of that, we can perform manipulative operations on the string. So in this lecture, we are going to focus on strings memory representation and its characteristics. I am going to create a string variable. The name of the variable is message and it holds a string or the text. Let's say I am learning C sharp, right? So MSG is the name of the variable. I am learning C sharp is a string value, a text which is also called string object. A string object is composed of characters, not only the alphabets, right? A space is not alphabet, but a space is a character. This hash sign is not alphabet, but it is a character. All the characters defined in the Unicode table can be coded as a string. So that was an important point to remember. Another important point is every character in the string requires 2 bytes of memory. 2 bytes of memory. That means if we have five number of characters, they will in total reserve 10 bytes. And when we want to print out the value of the string, we do the same like we do with the other variables. We simply code the variable name. Now we will discuss the string memory representation, which is the core concept. I just told you a string object is actually a one-dimensional or linear array in the memory. So this string object I am learning C sharp actually converts into the character array, one-dimensional character array as we run this application. To get the better understanding of that, let's study the image on the screen. MSG is the reference variable which is pointing to the string object. And you can see the string object is actually saved as one-dimensional character array in the memory. Every character is assigned its own space and all the spaces are consecutive, exactly like an array. And then the compiler will assign the index values to all the components or all the characters. And the index value, as we know, it starts always from 0. So the first character is at index 0. The second character, which is a space character, is at index 1. And the index value get increased the same way up to the last character. So that was the memory representation of the string. And because of that conversion, the string object's conversion into the array, we have access to the individual character. Using the index values, we can access all the characters one by one and we can apply loop to go through all the characters in a string object. So now we know the memory representation of the string. Let's do some experiments and learn more about it. The variable msg simply print the entire string. Now let's say in another console write line, I will simply want to print the first character. The first character has an index value of 0. So MSG of 0 will simply print the first character, which is an uppercase I. For example, I just choose another random value, index value 7. So index 7 is somewhat here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think this lowercase a has an index value of 7. So you can see we are not creating an array, but a string is an array in the background. So let's run the program and check the output. And so this is output in the cancel, right? This is the first character and this is the character which is at index 7. So this is simply a proof that a string is actually an array in the memory because we have access to the individual components using index values. Now, one thing is confirmed, the string is an array in the memory. That means we can call the length property just like we do on the array. Our length property will simply return us number of components, or in other words, number of characters. Just by calling the length property, we can find out the number of components of the string. So let's run the program and check the output. And here you see the output 16. So our string object has 16 characters. We can also loop through the string character by character using the for each loop and for loop. Or let's say I am going to loop through the string using the for each loop. Now the MSG is our string, our local variable is ch, and the data type should be char. Now we are looping through a string object, and a string is basically composed of characters. So the value which is returned from the string object is a single character, and we use data type char to represent the character value. So this for each loop will simply go through this entire string character by character. Now let's say we use console write instead of write line. Here we are printing the character, and we wanna put, let's say, a comma in between. So a comma after every character. So let's run the program and check the output. And so you see the output, right? Here we are reading out the entire object and we are doing the same here, but this time we are going like character by character, right? You can see it's an example of simple manipulation. And instead of for each loop, we can simply apply for loop. When we use for loop, then we have access to the index values. We can perform manipulative operations. So let's code a for loop like this. The use of the length property is the same as it was in the array. And now we can simply print out all the characters MSG and loop variable. So we are going through all the characters one by one using the indexes. So let's run the program and check the output. And so you see the output, right? Here comes I am learning C sharp. So as we go through a string object character by character, so we can do some interesting things. For example, we can count the number of spaces. And for that, we can simply need a variable. Let's have an integer variable count, which is 0. And as we are going through all the characters one by one, in an if statement, we would code something like this. And once the loop terminates, you can simply print out the value of the count, right? So MSG of I, this simply represents a single character, right? Single character means char value. And this is the way we code a space using the char value, right? So let's run the program and check the output. And so you see the output in the cancel, right? Number of spaces are 3. Don't get yourself confused with string and char value. A string is actually composed of char values. Now, let's say if I code a space using the string value in the double quotes like this, our program will complain because we are trying to compare two different variables. This one represents the string value, and this statement represents the char value or character value. And you can also read the description here. The operation equals to cannot be applied to operands of type char and string. So we can do a type conversion here before the comparison. For example, as soon as we get a character here, we can call the toString method on that before the comparison. So we are fetching the characters one by one from the string object, and before the comparison, we are simply converting the characters to string. So character gets its string representation before the comparison because on the other side, we have a string value. So this can also be done. Now let's say instead of spaces, I want to find out a specific character. Let's say the character A. I want to know how many times the character A appears in the string. So I can simply do it like that. Let's run the program and check the output. The output should be 2. And so you can see 2 is the output, right? So, my friend, that was a deep dive into string data, right? But we are not done with it. We just learned the basics and the memory representation of the string. The string class has a lot of useful methods and properties which we are going to learn in the next lecture. So, I will see you there. Don't miss the next lecture. Thanks for watching and take care of you.